Charles is a past president and a long-time Winter Park Toastmaster.
No.
So Charles' speech today is titled, "Oh, the Price of Eggs."
Good morning, Toastmasters.
Morning.
Morning. Welcome, guests and distinguished members of the table. Nice. Do you want me to talk about wheat, neon gas, or power bill?
Oh, eggs.
Yes. Well, I'm going to talk about them all. Imagine your power bill is $100 a month. And it's been that way for years and years. Within 30 days, it goes to $1,500 a month. Ouch. It's now more than your mortgage payment. This is for everybody in the country. Has this happened? Yes, it has. Why do you want to talk about, why do we care about the price of wheat? Well, what happens when the number 2 producer in the world and the number 5 producer in the world go to war? And they produce 30% of the world's grain. You can only imagine. Your imagination runs wild. So, what about neon gas? Why do I want to talk about neon gas? So the bars have to pay more for their Budweiser signs they hang in the window. No, pray tell. Neon gas is the key component in lasers that make very high-end microchips. The microchips that we all take for granted. These silly phones we look at 8 hours a day. Those, the cars we drive, the computers we use, so on and so on. It affects our every bit and fabric and fiber of our life. So how are you supposed to acclimate to these earth-shattering bits of data? Well, you just acclimate, get used to it. So the neon gas, 80% of that comes from Russia and the Ukraine. The other 20% comes from China.
Great.
Well, we all know what's happening in Russia and Ukraine. And we all know what the relations are right now between the U.S. and China. These are all bargaining chips that different countries possess. So when you remove 30% of the grain from the world market, the Middle East, Northern Africa, they have problems. They have real problems. To make up that deficit takes time, takes a lot of time. What happens when natural gas goes from $1 a unit to $12 a unit? Your manufacturing, all manufacturing, becomes almost overnight obsolete. You can't afford to make cars, TVs, tool and die equipment. This greatly affects the economy. Neon gas. Within months, people, this is not years. Neon gas is made in steel production when you infuse oxygen into a certain process of making steel and you get argon, neon, and various gases. We haven't produced steel here for years. We buy our steel elsewhere. It'll take 5 years to get everything back up and going and establish our own neon gas supply. It'll take 5 years to 10 years for the world to get over the shock and production of wheat again. So will there be famines? Maybe. Germany is most affected by the increase in natural gas. Within 12 to 24 months, manufacturing in Germany will really have a problem. Volkswagens, Beamers, Mercedes, whatever you like to buy that's made in Germany, yeah, they make some here, but still much is imported. Well, that model, which is based on since World War II, has now dramatically changed. So what are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to acclimate? Well, most of that, some of it, will move offshore. Why does this affect us? Europe is our largest trading partner on the globe. Other countries that are affected by all this, China, they import 90% of the stuff they use on a day-to-day basis. This is now getting very expensive. They take the stuff they buy from everybody else and turn it into cheap stuff that you and I like to buy. Well, that cheap stuff that you and I like to buy is now getting to be a lot more expensive. So how does this affect you and I? Well, it affects us a lot. But there's a silver lining in this dark cloud, people. I don't know. Not everybody reached for the motion sickness bags all at once. There is light at the end of the tunnel. So part of this picture is, will inflation be here to stay? Yes. Are interest rates going back down? No, they're not. So if you're a millennial or a Zoomer and you're out shopping for a home, get used to 6, 7, and 8% mortgages, and maybe more. Because these aren't coming down for years to come. The world has changed, and we have to acclimate. But part of this, the good news is, North America, Mexico, Canada, and America are surrounded by a moat called the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic. We have coal, we have oil, we have wheat, and we have transportation. We've got a great transportation system, we've got a great rail network, and we've got natural resources here. We'll be okay. The silver lining in this is a lot of this manufacturing, the reshoring, the stuff that's coming back from Asia will come back home, will go to Mexico, and will go to Canada. This will help this continent. That's the good part. The bad part is it's going to cost more for years to come. So get used to it, acclimate. Did I say that? Yeah. What does that have to do with the price of eggs? Absolutely nothing. Swine flu is a different issue. But I hope you guys enjoyed this speech. Thank you very much.